Hi, welcome to part two. I did not anticipate I was going to have to do multiple parts of this video, but if I didn't, it'd be an hour long. So congratulations, Gina, you're getting 3 videos for your birthday instead of just the one. Just as a reminder and a recap, I am pulling a card from a deck of cards that my best friend Gina made me for Christmas last year, and I've been letting them pick a TBR all year long. If you have not watched the first video, that gives you a lot more information, and it covers months January through April. This is going to be May, June, July, and August, and then I will do a third video with September, October, November, and December. The that's the best way to group it. It's the best way to group it without it going overboard. So anyway, this is, if you haven't seen the first one, you want to understand more about what's going on. I kind of hit my stride here in May, and over the summer I figured out how to make it work. And I will still probably be popping in periodically to offer some feedback on stuff maybe that I forgot to say. So anyway, enjoy the video. It'll begin with the picking of May's card. Okay. Here are my cards. Let's do this one. I'm so nervous. Why do I get nervous every time? Read a book that has a hand on the cover. Okay. Let me find one, and I'll get back to you. Okay, this was hard because I don't categorize my books by what's on the cover, so it's not like I have a fun Google master list of cover art like this features hands or feet or a face or multiple people. And in hindsight, maybe I should. That'd be a cool way to organize it over the summer when I have, time. But I did find 3 options by just Googling book covers with hands that I happen to know that I have in here. And then one of them I found just by looking through my books. The first book I found was Thinner by Richard Bachman. Bachman being a pen name of Stephen King. He wrote under at the same time he was publishing as Stephen King. I've never read this one. I read the Bachman books, which is The Long Walk, Road Work, The Running Man, and Rage, which is not in print anymore. And this is about a man who wrongs a lady and she curses him and he is losing weight aggressively. So it's the concept of him getting thinner and how horrifying that is for him to get thinner. And I don't know, I'm interested. I love the cover. I think it's very compelling. And I already know kind of the plot and how it ends, but it could be fun to read. Janeway, are you going to come visit? Sweet girl? You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Okay. The next one I found was New Boy by Tracy. Oh my god, I think it's Chevalier. I want to say it's Chevalier, but if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry, Tracy, that I did that. If you don't notice, there are 2 hands on this cover. You have the white hand and you have the not white hand. This is a retelling of Othello. It's part of the Hogarth Shakespeare series where authors take Shakespeare plays and rewrite them into fictional stories, and this one is about Othello. So it's about it's a 1970s DC suburb retelling of Othello, which, if you've never read Othello, is about a white woman with a black man and the kind of trials and tribulations of that relationship alongside this guy who really doesn't want Othello to be successful, so he takes him down a little at a time. It's really an interesting character study in that villain, but I'm interested to see that retelling. So I'll probably actually get to both of those because I like both of those. And then, because I'm playing fast and loose with the rules, because this is in fact a self-imposed challenge, I may read the next one because it's in May, and May is Asian American and Pacific Islander month, and Reads with Cindy is doing the Asian Readathon that she normally does. And I have Ningbo's The Chosen and the Beautiful, and there is her hand right there. So technically a hand is on the cover. But also I've been meaning to read this forever. I pre-ordered this book. I still haven't read it, and it's retold. It's about Jordan Baker from The Great Gatsby, and it's supposedly in Asian queer Jordan Baker. And I loved Siren Queen, which is also by Ningbo, and I've loved I think it's Into the Riverlands series by her. So I may pick this up on audiobook. I think I have an availability to get this as an audiobook, and that would be kind of cool. I think actually I can get all 3 of those as audiobooks. But May is both the busiest and least busiest time for me as a teacher. We have our final at the end of May, so it's kind of reviewing up till then, but also, like overabsorbed sponges, there's not much left I can teach these kids, and there's not much left that they're going to let themselves learn. So I have a lot of time on the weekends to read, and then June comes, and I'm very excited for June. I'm going to read so much in June. But anyway, so that is for May. May's card is hand on the cover, so we'll see if I can read any or all of those books. This is not the ideal recording moment. I'm cleaning my classroom at the end of the semester, so there's only a few kids on campus. We tested yesterday. We're testing every day, but I don't have tests today. But I am listening to Thinner. I finally started it today on audiobook. My headphones died, so I have to use these, and they're awful. But anyway, I want to comment because it's really simple, the premise of Thinner, where this guy runs over a woman and her husband curses him to be thin, and he starts making connections with other people involved in the case. What's funny is it's technically Stephen King, right? But it's Richard Bachman. At the time of publication, it would have been Richard Bachman. So about, I won't even say it's halfway, and the guy's like calling around trying to confirm that other people are affected. He's like, it sounds like something out of a Stephen King novel. And I was like, he said the thing. So that was funny. It's okay. It's not, I don't think it's going to be like my favorite. It's too long. Like, I already know it's too long. It could have been a short story. Like the anticipation and the plotting and the pacing is pretty good, but I'm just like, I feel like I didn't need to know this much. Like, get on with it. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading that. Well, I'm about 2/3 of the way through Thinner, and Stephen King has once again killed dogs. If I had a nickel for every time a character killed a dog with a poisoned steak, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot of money, but it is weird that it happened twice. So, I'm gonna keep listening. It's better than I thought it was gonna be. I am actually kind of enjoying it, but I thought I was gonna escape it without animal death, and I should have known better. Oh well. I'm in my Lego era. Oh my god, so cute. Birdhouse thing. I felt this was fitting to show you. I'm not quite finished yet. I'm working on the roof of the birdhouse. But I just finished Thinner. Listened to it on audiobook. Highly recommend the audiobook. It has like rock music kind of as like some transitions and stuff. It's like the vibe is really nice. But I got this kit from Gina for my birthday. I've already made the beehive and the little bees, so I'm making this now, and I'll make the squirrels maybe like next weekend. School's basically done, so I have some free time, thank God. And I have a bad feeling I want to pick up this hobby because this has been really fun to listen to an audiobook and just work on this. But anyway, back to Thinner. Okay, I should have trusted the process. I will admit, I should have trusted the process. I enjoyed that a lot. Mainly, I think, because I knew the ending. Like, this is not a new story. And if you've seen Drag Me to Hell, which is like a campy horror classic, it's the same concept, right? Like, you can't actually escape your fate. Like, a curse is something that you have. And it actually becomes like thematic in the story is like a curse happens to everybody. Like, everybody gets what's coming to them, even if they don't deserve it. And sort of the like the self-fulfilling nature of revenge and hatred, like, because you did this to me, I'm going to do this to you, so now this is done to me, and I'll do this to you. And it's never really okay until one person says, fine, you know what, you got me, I'll take my licks and move on. So the premise behind Thinner being not a great one to read for PC readers. This was written in the 80s, and so it uses the more slur term for Romani people in this, if you know what I'm talking about. And it deals with a lot of superstitions and curses and stuff. And while the reminding people are technically the bad guys in the story, it is very much an issue of like, no, the main guy is unlikable and awful, and he gets what's coming to him. But I really liked it. I liked the slow creeping realization at the very end of our main character realizing that he has basically condemned his daughter to the curse as well, even though she did nothing wrong, because he was so blinded by hatred and the need to get rid of this curse and put it on his wife. So that was fun. I'm glad I picked that one up for the like card option. And now it is Memorial Day weekend. It's Saturday. It's rainy. That's why I'm in here working on Legos instead of doing something outside. And it's just going to get worse. It's like a little mini hurricane coming through. So I'm finishing up also the Asian Readathon. So I've got, I think, 2 more books that I'm working on for that one. But it is time to draw another card. So I'm going to go get the box real quick and do that. My favorite thing about this this series has been that I have not told Gina about it at all. It's been completely secret. The first one is the only one that was the most suspicious because it asked me to get a recommendation from Gina. But other than that, there's nothing that really connects the books I've read for it. So it looks like I'm just kind of reading random books. And so she's not going to connect the dots, I don't think. If she does and she guesses it, that'll be wild, but I really doubt it. So just so we're clear, this is the reading for June. What I would really like to do, Janeway, did you want to feature? This is Janeway. I know she may have been in videos before. Oh, that's the newest kitten. June is Pride Month, so I would like to try to find one of my LGBT books and read that along with this prompt. But we'll see what the option is. If it's something as difficult as Hand on the cover like last month, who knows. I also have a lot more gay books at school. I have students specifically requesting more gay books. So a lot of my books have like already gone to school. So if I do get a prompt from here and I think I have a gay book at school that could fill the qualifications for it, I may just wait and show you on Tuesday when I go back. All right. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Come on. Scroll through your Goodreads feed and read the first book you see that's on your TBR. Ooh. Okay. Oh no, I wish I knew how to screen record. Maybe I should look for that real quick. I'm going to hold on to this. I will do this later. I also forgot my computer charger at home. Or not at home, at school. It feels like home. I live there just so long during the week. I don't have my charger, so my computer is like to die if I use it for too long, but I'm going to try this on maybe my phone and see what I can do. Do I trust the people on my Goodreads? We're going to see. Also, I don't always add my TBR to Goodreads. Like, I'd like to be the kind of person that's organized enough to put my physical TBR and, like, my hypothetical TBR on Goodreads, but I just don't. So again, this is another one where I'll get creative. But anyway, yeah, I'll get back to you as soon as I do that one and let you know what the option is. I just spent like 10 minutes trying to get everything set up to screen record. I'm so annoyed. And I was like, okay, well, I'm waiting for like the mouse to connect to the computer and like Zoom to update. I just opened Goodreads and signed in. I'm going to do a screenshot because you're not going to believe me. The very first option, the very first thing on my, like, on the Goodreads, like on my, scrolling through my feed, is Night of the Living Queers, 13 Tales of Terror and Delight, which is, by the way, on my TBR, and it is queer, and I have a copy of it from NetGalley that I need to go ahead and read. Thank you, Aurora. She is also actually a booktuber, and she's on like Twitter and stuff. I met her through Fun Fact and Connection, a long walk fandom on Tumblr back in like 2011, 2012. So shout out to Aurora. Helping me with that. I don't even have to screen record because it's literally the first book up here is an option. So cool. I don't have a physical copy to hold up. If I read it for NetGalley and decide that I want to put a copy in my classroom library, I'll buy it. But that is what we're going to be reading for this card for Scroll Through Goodreads. Read the first book you see. It's on your TBR. It is Night of the Living Queers. That's so funny. So I was going back through my photos. By the way, this is editing Samantha. From the end of the challenge, and I realized I did not have a wrap up for Night of the Living Queers, which I thought was interesting. I really thought when I got the book physically, because I did end up ordering it, that I'd done a review, but I guess I didn't. Um, I really enjoyed this. It's a really solid little anthology of horror stuff, and again, I'll go into it at the very end, wrap up in the last section, but this is a good collection to get. Like, if you're looking for something that you can kind of flip through and read a story and not feel like you are pressured to finish the whole book in one setting, this is a really good one. And it's like multi-seasonal. Obviously, it's going to read better probably in the fall around Halloween, and there's a lot more readathons you can throw it in. But, hey, Pepper, I know. My cat got really high on catnip a few minutes ago, so she's very affectionate now. But anyway, speaking of black cats and spooky stuff, um, there's a Winterween happening by the same people who do Summerween, and this probably will fit one of the challenges. I don't know them off the top of my head. And then Books in the Freezer just released their new 2024 list, so check it out. It is very YA skewed, but a lot of like horror movies and slashers are. So that's what it felt like. Like, it was enjoyable. A lot of these would be good movies. They'd be good miniseries. Yeah, tell me about it, Pepper. Um, I read it though in the summer, and honestly, I think 10 out of 10 would recommend it as a summer like beach read. This is a great beach read. It's kind of light. It's not that serious. Some of the things that are serious are like exactly the amount of serious they need to be. Um, could not recommend enough. I enjoyed every minute. I was just at the pool in the sun reading this book. Anyway, back to the regularly scheduled sort of review and picking of the July card. So I've just spent the whole day at the pool. I'm not burnt, so thank God sunscreen worked. SPF 70 came in clutch. But I did just finish Night of the Living Queers. I'll do like an actual recap of that, and you'll see that before I post this. So I know we're all out of order here, but I figure because I'm kind of between books, I want to make sure I go ahead and start something because I'm getting my wisdom teeth out next week, and I have like school training at the end of the month. I want to make sure that the July book for this doesn't get like left put aside. So I'm going to draw another card. We'll see what I get this time. All right, so, oh no, I messed up. Okay. Please be something good. Read a book that is set in the season we're currently in. Give me 1 second. I have a book. I've been meaning to read Beach Read or People We Meet on Vacation. I think this is perfect. It's summer. These are summer books. And I need to give them a chance. I know that Emily Henry has like a new one out that it comes highly recommended to. So it might just be like a little like mini Emily Henry readathon if I have time, because this is technically the July pick. So this is for summer. I think there's also some books that I have that are specifically like Independence Day related I could find for July, so I might look into that too. But for now, we'll just assume that this is the pick for July based on the card is set in the season we're currently in. So, cool. Here I am again, same night at the end of the challenge, realizing going through my videos, I did not record a review for Beach Read. And I can't get up now because Janeway has decided I am now the cozy spot. So, I can't make her move. No, I would never. Beach Read was okay. I listened to an audiobook. It was okay. It was exactly the kind of summer read I thought I was going to get. I will probably pick up more Emily Henry. I've heard good things about some of her other books. I know People We Meet on Vacation is a very popular one. And Happy Place was really good for a lot of folks. So I'll look her up in the future. I didn't read anything else by her, and I did not read Going Bi-Coastal. That is unfortunately still my TBR. Ma'am? Anyway, that's the review. That's all you really need to know. I read the July book. It was moving on. It is currently 12 o'clock on July 16th. I have officially 2 weeks left of July, and I have about a month left before I'm like in school mode. Like I'm there in the building every day getting stuff prepped for school. We go back officially with students in the room the last week of August. So, like I've said before, I'm really nervous about this card deck challenge going into the fall months because those always feel the busiest to me. I'm having to like hit my stride again after a summer break. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the card for August and give myself time to like find the book, think about the book, and possibly read the book. I finished the book for July, was Beach Read. I thought it was delightful. It was exactly as summery and wonderful as you'd expect. But I am looking forward to see what I pull from here. I haven't looked at these in a long time to know what the options are. So we'll see. All right. There's a lot of pressure with this. Read a book that is a retelling. Read a book that is a retelling. Funny enough, like I'm doing the books in the freezer challenge too, and one of them is read a horror retelling. So I may actually go look at that list on Storygraph and see if that can inspire this. Otherwise, I think I've got an option for this. I've got quite a few retellings and like reimaginings of stuff. But this will be August. August is a book that is a retelling, and I'll let you know when I find one. I'm aware that I'm making this card particularly hard for myself. Thought you'd enjoy Tim. I just can see books falling in my future. I'm making this harder for myself by making it a horror retelling, but because I want to check off that box in the books in the freezer, I also want it to be a horror or horror adjacent thing. I have plenty of retellings. I usually buy retellings of stuff because I can put them in my classroom library later, but I've got 4 options here, and I've actually got more than that in my classroom library while I was scrolling. But anyway, these are my options. My number 1, I think, is going to be The Initial Insult by Minnie McGinnis. This is a retelling of The Cask of Amontillado, which is one of my favorite Edgar Allan Poe stories, and Gina specifically has recommended this because it's crazy. It's batshit. So I want to read it. I also have Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match, which is a romance. Obviously, Frankenstein. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. I think this is like Jekyll and Hyde and some other stuff. It's also queer. And this is the long shot. This will probably not happen. The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. And it's big. So I'm, again, going to put those in priority of The Initial Insult. I think it's going to be the book. But I may also pick up the others just for fun. So that is the book's choice for August as the retelling. It's the option A. Yeah. I know I look tragic right now, but I did go to the pool and I just haven't washed my hair yet. And it's a mess back here because I just got these 2 new shelves. I'm very excited about them, but I'm getting rid of the one in front of me because it's going in the classroom in about 3 weeks. So I've been trying to like figure out where stuff goes that was on this shelf that I said I wasn't going to use as a shelf for me. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We are actually here to talk about The Initial Insult. I'm about halfway. I think I'm at like page 200 exactly. So like I'm flying through it. I like this book. I did not realize it was a retelling of like all of the Edgar Allan Poe stuff. I thought, and I guess it's technically the framing device is the way you would call it in like English lit terms, is Cask of Amontillado. It's Tress Montour and her ex-best friend Felicity Tornado. Yeah, Tress Montour and Felicity Tornado. The names are weird because you're trying to make these like old school names fit into this. But they live in Amontillado instead of it being like a cask of wine. That's the town, and there's another town called like Prospero. There's a Black Panther at their zoo that gets out, so that's the Black Cat. Her cousin is Ribbit Usher from like the House of Usher. His mom's name is Lenore. Her missing parents are Lee and Annabelle. And I'm sure there's other references. Oh, and everybody's getting the flu randomly, and they're in this old house having a party, and people are getting sick and throwing up, but still partying, and there's a clock that's kind of suspicious. So, like, The Mask of the Red Death. Hey, Tim. Tim came to visit. Say hey. No? Alright. Go start shit, I guess. but I wasn't, I don't know what I expected. I don't know that I'm picking up every, like, reference because I'm not, like, the Edgar Allan Poe scholar. I mean, I've claimed to be in the past, so maybe I shouldn't. Um, but I'm really enjoying the, like, kind of Easter eggs. It's like watching a Marvel movie and, like, oh, they name dropped that superhero. Um, but the plot alone is crazy. I feel very seen by it. Fun fact, I live in a town that has a zoo, like a small family zoo that people go to. They like bought a zebra and then suddenly they were buying everything. They've got otters and a wolf and a sloth and um so while it might seem kind of funny for these people to have a zoo with like an orangutan and a zebra and a gator and a panther, I'm like, it's just it's down the street. It's the zoo that's down the street. I got it. I don't think I've ever been mad enough at an ex-friend to literally brick her up underneath the house that's going to be torn down. But also, she thinks that's the only person who knows what happened to her parents when they disappeared. So, since I'm only about halfway, and this is a duology, so I can get the sequel from the library even though I don't own it. I'll probably pick that up, honestly, because I think I'm gonna have questions. Like I don't think everything I want to know is gonna be revealed to me in this first book. So that's how this one's going. The retelling, I'm enjoying it. I It is the 30th today as I'm recording this. It's July 30th. So technically, again, this is August's book, and I'm doing that because I start school. Technically, I start school in 2 weeks from my planning days, but those are still kind of chill. I start teaching on the 28th already. So I start teaching on the 28th. I am intending to do multiple things in August. I'm part of a book tour for a book. I start teaching. I want to audition for the local community theaters plays that they're doing in the fall. There's a couple different ones I want to audition for. We'll see where it goes. Oh, and I have to apply to grad school. So, I'm glad I'm getting ahead of the game. I do have the option to listen to this on audiobook, but I decided to go against it. I decided to just read this physically, and I'm enjoying it so far. But anyway, that's the only update. This book is kind of crazy. I was not prepared for it to be all about Edgar Allan Poe. That's it. That's the update. I'm so annoyed. I hit my head on the car this morning. Please don't ask me how. And I broke my glasses. I don't know how they're cheap enough that I don't know how to fix them. I think I'm gonna have to start wearing my backup glasses. Give me a second. Okay, I'm just gonna have to wear my backup like Great Gatsby glasses. They don't have blue light, but like beggars can't be choosers. I just can't wear these. Look at this. That's crazy. Look how wide that is. I finished The Initial Insult yesterday. Oof. What a ride that book is. Okay, this is The Initial Insult by Minnie McGinnis. I was warned of this. Like, Gina is the one who kind of recommended this to me and brought it to my attention. And she's like, it's just like trailer park drama in the best way. And girl, you are absolutely right. This is a chaotic ass book. You think you know what's happening, and then like 2 chapters later, you don't. You get POVs from Felicity and from Tress, the two main characters, but you also get these fun little poems interspersed that are the panther down here, the black cat, essentially. That exists in this novel and is a secondary antagonist, like chasing people around trying to kill folks, but also not trying to kill folks. Anyway, and you're flipping back in the past of like Felicity and Tress and them not being friends and being friends and the things that kind of tie them together but break them apart. And it leaves on this huge cliffhanger. So I obviously had to download immediately the sequel on Hoopla because I have to know how this ends. I have to know, especially since the sequel is, and I don't really want to spoil this. It takes on more of the Edgar Allan Poe stories that we didn't get in this one. So like the Telltale Heart is more prevalent, and I think they're going to go more into the Fall of the House of Usher because it's going to have Ribbit as like a main person. I'm very intrigued. I'm going to put this in the classroom library for sure. I don't actually teach Cask of Amontillado, but I'm very inclined to now because it's been a dream of mine. I love that story. And this would be great to recommend. Like, hey, if you liked how crazy that was, wait till you read this. I really liked that. I think it was a good pull, and it ended up being a really good book. I'm probably gonna give it like a 4.5. Like it was a little bit too immature for me, and that's more me being 31 than it is a fault of the book. And also, I feel like some things were dumb in a way that didn't make sense for the character. Like the character did a thing and backflopped in a way that didn't seem like it fit the rest of their character arc. Anyway, I'm not going to pull a card in this video. The next time you see me, I will be pulling a card for September because it is literally only the second day of August, and this, if you remember, is August's book as a retelling. So when I finish the initial insult and possibly the Literally Dead book club for the month and I need something to read, I'll pull the next card for September. I just don't want to get too far ahead. So that was my take on the initial insult. It was a pretty good card pull, I'd say. I can't believe this is almost over. I'm really excited about this. I think I might continue it next year, but I don't know. I might try to do something different. All right, let's see. Remember, this is for September. I like that one. It's going to be hard to get, but I like that one.